Well, hello everybody. My name is Leo Minghui. This year I'm 11 years old. For today's talk, we are going to be talking about our main work for week 12, math concepts and applications in daily life. So let's look a little bit at the concepts first. Well, math has amazing uses and a lot of ways to use it in daily life. Let's first talk about some of the most basic concepts in math that we use nearly in every action that we do in our life. First, we have our basic operations, which is something so normal that we got to learn when we were just toddlers. Basic operations includes addition, subtraction, multiplication and division, which are very useful things that we could use in every situation in our life. Maybe simply when we were calculating how much money do we need for like a plan, for like a trip, we could simply use them to measures it way much more quickly. Also, basic operations could be used in situations such as when you're buying things, when you're spending, or when you're saving things, which can be so good. Next are decimals. Decimals is some of the easiest ways to show an amount of something precisely. We could mention about fractions later, but decimal is some of the most commonly used way to express a value of a set of data or order state, which is so important. You can see that decimals are easily used in not just numbers or calculating, but also in time management, money management, and a lot of other things. So usually in the future, you mainly see a lot of decimals in your daily decisions. Also, you could find decimals in another kind of math concept, which is known as pi, where we have that long number that leads for like thousands of number of digits that is like very hard to remember. Next you have is fraction. Fractions include three main types, which are proper fraction, improper fraction, and mixed fractions. This is a very easy way to also express value precisely, like when you look at examples like this. Then you could simply point it out as 1, 1, 2, which is a very easy and quick way to calculate something. Decimals could be easier, but we need to convert it for a pretty long time, and usually a lot of kids won't be easily into adapting this. So that's why a lot of people sometimes use fractions to use to calculate in their daily life situations too. And also in sometimes situations where different kinds of numbers couldn't be told by decimals, fractions are in the help of our hands. Next we have is math theories. Theories is some of the most important thing in our life. No matter if we use it for calculating or for problem solving, theories are just so important. Like theories of a set, of the data, or of simply on operations. Theories are so important, and especially if you are always facing with complex situations, theories is something that could not be missed. Also, easily you could find theories in a lot of our daily life examples. And math can't lose theories because if so, then we won't even know on how to adapt to different math concepts. Next is geometry, which is something that um, kids could learn from primary school. Geometry consists of shapes, and it's not just two-dimensional shapes, but also is three-dimensional shapes, which is something very, very important that kids should learn. A lot of situations where people could use geometry should be calculating an area of something like a piece of paper or even a massive area of land, which is so important. And so in geometry, we does not just learn about rectangles or circles, we learn about various shapes such as two-dimensional shapes or three-dimensional shapes, which are very important for our life applications. So here we have mentioned a lot about concepts. Let's look at what can math gives us in our daily life situations. First is budgeting money. No matter if you're a kid or an adult, budgeting money is very important. Maybe adults could need to budget their allowance for not just their family but for the need and the wants. Kids could simply budget money through their allowance every day. And so by actually involving math inside, it will reduce a lot of time on calculating. Next is shopping. When you use math in shopping situations, you could easily find out on which product is cheaper, which product is better. By using and like by putting in the inequalities of math into shopping, we could easily find out if this store sells cheaper or that store sells cheaper, so that we could spend wiser. Something very important that probably a lot of adults will like. Also, in spending tips, it's important to have math too, so that you doesn't want to spend too much tip. Yeah. Next we have is figuring distance, cost, or like time of travel plans. So imagine sometimes when you're traveling by plane from like maybe from Vietnam to Japan, it will maybe took like 2 million Vietnamese dong. Let me write it down. And so you want to travel there for like just a week and then come back. And so you could simply use math into calculating the cost of the whole ticket of traveling from Vietnam to Japan and from Japan back to Vietnam, which is something very, very important because you want to find out which cost you what. And so it will be easier for your plan savings. Next, you could use it for business decisions. You could know what's the best choice in the market for your company or something for your job. Business decisions are very simply important that usually math are involved in. And so decisions like simply choosing which company to follow or choosing which kind of contract should we operate in is very important. And lastly, spending and saving wisely. If you are a person that is very careful in budgeting, probably math is something that you will need to use a lot in your spending and your savings. And so that is all about the math concepts and applications in daily life and also in business. So I hope this video today really does helps you to find out about its concepts and application. Thank you so much for listening and bye. See you next time.